I had a weird feeling that Keith Thurman gonna win. I don't know. I don't know why, and I don't know how, but I got a weird feeling that Keith Thurman gonna win. Like, or he might drive him or something. Like, I don't know. I think he might just catch him.
I find it easier to believe Sebastian Fundora doing everything that he needs to do and executing than I do Keith. And I think right now, Fundora wins this fight.
He's a bit of a nightmare, but he's also easy to hit. But he's also a real tough motherfucker that gets hit and it keeps coming, you know? So it's hard to box him. It's hard to be strategic. When you fight Fundora, expect that you're going to be in one of the hardest.
Boxing experts are making strong predictions ahead of the Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora showdown. Many believe Thurman's experience, punching power, and smart decision-making in the ring could give him the advantage, while others feel Fundora's size, constant pressure, and high punch output make him a dangerous opponent capable of creating serious problems throughout the fight.
Fight coming up with Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman, man. It's going to be a banger of a fight, I tell you that. Regardless of who comes out the winner, I know the fans are going to win for sure. Me personally, I think Sebastian Fundora is a nightmare for anybody in the ring. 6'4", 6'5", 154 pounds, man. It's crazy. He's not just a frail guy in there. He's powerful, he's strong, and he's bringing the heat. Then on the other side, you got Keith Thurman. You know, one-time Thurman, he's going to use his footwork, he's going to use his movement, and he's going to try to land the devastating shots like he used to. Keith Thurman been out the ring for a while, and it's going to be hard to shake that ring rust off against a formidable champion like Fundora, man. It's going to be tough. So I give the edge to Fundora for sure. And if Keith does pull it off, it definitely will shock me. But the last thing to lead the fighters, they say, is the power. So we're going to...
Sebastian Fundora puts his WBC Super Welterweight Championship on the line against former unified welterweight champion Keith Thurman in a matchup that has become one of the most fascinating style battles boxing fans have seen in recent years.
I think Fundora wins. I think look, the thing with Fundora, he's very tall. And when he throws punches, it's like he just throws down and it doesn't take much energy. It's not like his punches are physically hard, but they're very stingy. And they're just non-stop. Bam, 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 bam. And with that type of style, it doesn't make you breathe. It doesn't make you rest unless you work your legs. And I think Keith Thurman's good at working his footwork, and he's able to, I don't know, maybe maneuver and then punch and come in different angles. His head's all over the place at times. He knows how to work the body. So it's going to be an interesting fight. But I'm with how Fundora fought in the last fight, I feel like he's a hard man to beat.
Keith Thurman is entering his fight against Sebastian Fundora with complete confidence. He believes he is in top condition, mentally focused, and ready to take control from the opening bell. Thurman has even said that once the fight begins, Fundora will quickly realize he is sharing the ring with a fighter operating at a much higher level.
March 28th, you taking on arguably the biggest challenge, resume-wise and physically in the division. You're facing Sebastian Fundora. What's your thoughts on the fight?
Just a great fight, man. You know, I mean, I love fighting the best, and Fundora's that man right now. You know, he's got the WBC world title, and he's got some great victories under his belt. He's growing, he's maturing, and like you said, man, I mean, he's just an obstacle for anybody at 154. But there ain't no test like the Thurman test. You know, some way, somehow, I find a way to do it better than the rest. All right. The way that I get up in there and I start throwing these hands, you know, that's the real fire. He calls himself the Towering Inferno, but I'm a Florida boy. So, you know, I already been packing that heat my whole.
Most boxing experts are picking Sebastian Fundora to defeat Keith Thurman, pointing to Thurman's age, long periods of inactivity, and recent form as major concerns. Many believe Fundora's youth, height, and relentless punch output give him a clear advantage, with veteran Gary Russell Jr. also predicting that Fundora will earn a convincing victory.
Finished putting a little run in it, man. I was thinking about the fight, man. Keith Thurman and Fundora. Everything in me want to go with Keith. That's my man. We came up together. We go way back. But there's a big part of me that actually want to go with Fundora. My bad, Keith, man. But I got to keep it real with myself and the fans, man. I just wanted to put it out there, man. I'm rooting for Keith. I hope Keith win. He definitely always got a puncher's chance. Hopefully he can get Fundora up out of there. But in my personal opinion, I'm going with Fundora.
Undefeated star Jaron Ennis admitted he is uncertain about who will come out on top between Keith Thurman and Sebastian Fundora. He believes both fighters bring important strengths into the ring, making it a closely matched and highly unpredictable fight.
I think Fundora, I really think Fundora going to win because well, at first I was thinking Fundora was going to win because he younger, he got the length, he got the reach. Thurman old, I don't think, when the last time he been in the ring? I don't remember the last time he been in the ring.
He fought in Australia not too long ago, but before that, he been out of the ring for a minute.
That's what I'm saying. Then again, I don't know. I just got a weird feeling like, I don't know, Bill. Yep. Got a weird feeling, yo.
I ain't going to speak on what fight, but last time you had a weird feeling. It turned out to be true, though.
Yeah. Every time, though, I got a weird feeling that he going either win or drop it. I don't know. One or the other. Either Keith Thurman going to drop him or he going to win. I don't know. But I don't know. Me the best man win, though.
Now you got to, I know you don't watch boxing, but you got to watch that fight. If the Virgil fight would have came through, they ordered you to be the mandatory.
Yeah.
So you got to watch that one, Boosie.
I don't know.
Former world champion Sean Porter believes Keith Thurman's age could be a major factor in this matchup. He says the combination of getting older and spending long stretches out of the ring could hurt Thurman's timing, conditioning, and overall sharpness, especially against a younger Sebastian Fundora, whose non-stop pressure and high punch volume can wear opponents down over the course of the fight.
Point in time, I had no shadow of a doubt that Keith would beat Fundora, and I might have been just kind of playing a mind game with myself, but just knowing all of the attributes that Keith has, that fight goes away and then it comes back. And when it comes back, now I have to be like realistic and honest with myself. Like, hey, this is the Keith of old, and you remember everything that he could do. And and I know personally, like as time goes by, if you aren't polishing that stuff, it's still there, but it's just ultimately ends up being there. That's the biggest question. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like I'm 50-50 on the answer. I don't have a definitive yes. I know that Keith is gonna take the right chances. He's gonna go for broke. He's gonna do what he has to do. And I don't have a definitive no. Keith is over the hill. He's just going in there, to try to show himself and stuff like that. I think he still wants to be on top of the world of boxing. I think he believes that he can still be on top of the world of boxing. But you got a kid that's looking at the top of the world of boxing. He's not truly there yet. I think he just needs the right dance partner. Even though he's had that with Tim a couple of times, he just needs the right dance partner to really get him over that ledge of becoming one of the elite guys in the world of boxing.
Sean Porter believes Keith Thurman can win if he stays disciplined and takes advantage of the gaps in Sebastian Fundora's defense whenever they appear. Even so, Porter still favors Fundora, believing that his size, relentless pressure, and high level of activity will ultimately help him control the fight and earn the victory.
You look at how Zoo, right before he got stopped in the corner, he had a barrage of shots that were effective against Fundora. Can he put together sequences like that? He'll have to. Thurman will have to go for broken spots, or else over the course of 12 rounds he'll get run over. Fundora should win. Fundora should handle his business. He's much younger. He has a lot of the kryptonite that gives Keith problem, volume and withering body shots, and Fundora should stop him.
Yeah.
But Keith, if he goes for broke, can make it an explosive fight. Yeah. Do you think he will?
That's why I take deep breaths when I talk about.
Several of Sebastian Fundora's former opponents have spoken about how difficult he is to fight. Tim Tsayu described Fundora as a nightmare in the ring because of his awkward style and relentless pressure, even when taking clean shots. Brian Mendoza also pointed to Fundora's incredible height and reach as major challenges, explaining that constant lateral movement was essential to creating opportunities. He admitted that preparing for Fundora's unusual physical advantages was far from easy, saying his length makes him one of the toughest fighters to deal with.
It's kind of interesting, it's tough to get ready for, a guy at that height, at this weight class. He has a lot of advantages against you in the ring, but you know the main thing that a lot of people didn't recognize in my fight with him was the lateral movement. You know, they noticed him getting downhill on me and kind of landing shots, but they didn't notice how many shots I was able to get out of the way of. And so yeah, the lateral movement was a big factor for me, and a couple other things. You know, I'll keep in the vault because I'm still trying to get the rematch with him. So, you know, we'll see, but I honestly think Thurman's a big threat because he's known, you know, for really good lateral movement. He knows how to get you to cross your feet up and come in with that leaping hook, which, you know, as we saw in my fight with him, that, you know, that can be his kryptonite. So yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to this one, and we'll see, but I think Thurman's a big threat in this.
Jaron Ennis-Clark has also said that facing Sebastian Fundora was far from easy, showing the respect he has for Fundora's abilities. Their 10-round split draw was a hard-fought battle, with Clark standing his ground against a much taller and longer champion, while pushing him all the way to a razor-close decision that many believed Clark had done enough to win. That performance convinced Clark that Fundora is a difficult test for any elite fighter, as his height, reach, and awkward southpaw-style force opponents to constantly adjust throughout the fight.
Punches and bunches. It was intense. Every round, for the round to start, he'd just smile over at me, and I'm like, okay, here we go with it. We at it again. Like, we back at it, so I got to be on top of my game. So it was probably one of my best fights to be.
Bozy Ennis, the father and trainer of Jaron Ennis, believes the fight between Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman is one of the toughest matchups to predict. He says both fighters have the skills to win, making it a true 50-50 contest. According to Ennis, Thurman is not only a dangerous puncher, but also a smart boxer who can move well and adjust his strategy during a fight. Fundora, on the other hand, has solid boxing ability but usually prefers to fight at close range, using his height, reach, and constant pressure to wear opponents down. Ennis feels the contrast in their styles makes the matchup especially exciting, and he believes either man can come out on top depending on who executes the better game plan on fight night.
Last question, Mr. Bozy. Sebastian Fundora, Keith Thurman. Of course, that's a fight that's going to affect you down the road.
That's a good fight.
Because we all know y'all want the belts. Yeah. What you think of that fight?
I think that's a good fight too. You got Fundora, throws a lot of punches. He can box when he want to box, but he like to fight inside. Then you got Thurman, a puncher. He can box and he can move. Thurman's not a bad fighter at all. He's a good fighter. You know what I mean? Both of them good fighters, man. So I don't know what to say about that, you know what I mean? I don't know what to say. Who win? I call it a 50-50.
Yo, have you ever went up against somebody that was like that size at that kind of weight class?
I done box guys like that.
Yeah. How do you have success against them?
Man, how I had success, I was quicker. I used to box.
Although most analysts and boxing experts praise Sebastian Fundora, Bozy Ennis believes he has one clear weakness that could be exploited. Ennis says Fundora often drops his hands during exchanges, creating openings for accurate counterpunches, especially against an experienced puncher like Keith Thurman. He explains that when Fundora lowers his guard, both his head and upper body become easier targets. Ennis suggests that stepping in with a right hand followed by a left hook could be an effective way to take advantage of those openings. Rather than relying on one big punch, he believes putting together sharp combinations is the best strategy, as Fundora's habit of lowering his hands creates opportunities that a smart and disciplined fighter can use to gain the upper hand.
Move, make them do something they normally don't do. Because most of the box, if guys is tall and box, they normally don't have to move and come after nobody. The guys normally come to them. So you gotta switch up sometimes. Make them come to you and set them up. You know what I mean? Even though you're supposed to box your way in and go to the body and the head, sometimes you gotta switch it up though. You know what I mean? You can't be doing what they think you're gonna do. Do stuff that they don't think you're gonna do. You know what I mean?
That makes sense because everybody likes to come forward on those guys.
Exactly.
So that's the style that they're normally used to going up against.
And I like guys when they come to me because I shots up when they coming to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, come to me, put this together. You know what I mean? I like fighting guys like that.
Keith was a big puncher at 147.
Right.
Hasn't had knockouts in a while.
Yeah.
We've seen Fundora hit the deck before.
Right.
We've seen Fundora stop. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So do you try to set up the one shot or do you try to slowly break Fundora down?
I would not try to set up no one shot. You got to put them punches together when you're fighting a guy like Fundora. You know what I mean? Then later on, you sneak that shot in and try to take him out. You know what I mean? That right hand, you know what I mean? But every time Fundora fights, he drops his hands. He's so tall, he drops his hands. That's when you slide in and drop down and come up top, boom, with the right hand and left hook behind it. Not just one shot, you know what I mean? Just in case you miss with the right hand. But you gotta get in. You gotta get in sometimes. You know what I mean? Then sometime I would switch up. You know what I mean? Frustrating. You gotta.
Several analysts have raised concerns about Keith Thurman's long periods of inactivity heading into his fight with Sebastian Fundora. Now in his mid-30s, Thurman has spent extended time away from the ring, leading many to question whether his timing, conditioning, and overall sharpness will be at their best. Although he still has the experience and skill to compete at a high level, facing a younger and more active fighter like Fundora presents a difficult challenge. Fundora has stayed busy, continuing to improve and maintain his rhythm, which many believe gives him a significant advantage. Analysts have also pointed to Thurman's history of training camp injuries, saying another setback could affect both his preparation and his performance on fight night.
Well, Keith for me has been too inactive as of late. He's had several years off, a couple times, 3 times, I think, and I think that's gonna hold him back in this fight. He's getting a little older. He's 35, 36, somewhere in there. And Fundora seems to be getting better, not much better, but getting better as a champion. So I see a tough fight for Fundora, but I see Fundora.
Marcos Villegas has voiced concerns about Keith Thurman's health ahead of his fight with Sebastian Fundora. He believes Thurman's long layoffs have already created challenges, but his biggest concern is the possibility of another injury during training or on fight night. Villegas says Thurman still has the talent and experience to compete at the highest level, but staying healthy will be essential if he wants to perform at his best. Against a younger, active, and physically imposing opponent like Fundora, any injury or lack of preparation could make the challenge even more difficult.
Yeah, you know, that's the big thing for me as well, is looking at it is like, one, I'm just crossing my fingers that Thurman doesn't get hurt. Like, you know, it's happened before where like he's done a full prep just about for a fight and then an injury happens with him, you know? So I know there's still some time left before now in the fight. So like, that's kind of like running in my head is like, oh man, I hope he just even makes it to the fight. The other thing is yeah, you mentioned it, the activity of a Keith Thurman versus someone who's young in Sebastian Fundora, who's been more active, even though it's been a while since the last fight that he had against Tim Tszyu, I want to say almost a year ago. But also too, like, I feel at this point, Fundora is just like on another gear, like in terms of like confidence and momentum and mentality. And I think that plays even a bigger part to me in the fight.
Well, most definitely. Once you become champion, there's, people have said that once you become champion, you become 30% better than you were before you were champion, just because you got something to lose now, something to fight.
Keith Thurman has explained that he accepted the fight with Sebastian Fundora because it offered him a chance to win a world title and fit perfectly into his career plans. He also questioned why so many people view Fundora as such a dangerous opponent, saying he has faced stronger and more accomplished fighters throughout his career. Thurman pointed out that Fundora has been knocked down, hurt, and even stopped before, proving he is not unbeatable. At the same time, Thurman believes he presents a completely different challenge, insisting that his experience, ring intelligence, and punching power are qualities Fundora has never had to deal with inside the ring.
Like there were other options in the division might have been looked at as or more lucrative that might not be as dangerous. Why Sebastian Fundora? Why right now?
Well, why is he dangerous? What's so dangerous? Y'all told me Tim Tszyu he's so scary. He's the biggest and baddest. Man, come on. Why? What's so scary, bro?
6'6", come forward fighter, throws punches and bunches, southpaw.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Fundora might hit you, but can he really hit me? We gonna find out. All right? My name's not Tim. All right? I'm not Erickson Lubin. I'm not like the...
Tim Bradley believes Sebastian Fundora has the advantage over Keith Thurman based on their styles and current stages of their careers. He points out that even when Thurman was at his best, he had a difficult time against a 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao, making him doubt Thurman's chances now. Bradley praises Fundora's height, reach, power, non-stop punch output, and durable chin, noting that he has taken big shots before and kept moving forward. While he admits Thurman always has a puncher's chance because of his power, Bradley expects Fundora to wear him down and score a stoppage victory. He also says that if he were making a prediction or placing a bet, Fundora would be the logical choice, while recognizing that boxing can always produce unexpected results.
Been studying the Keith Thurman all morning versus Southpaw. 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao. I watched that Keith Thurman fight. Keith was at his absolute peak then, right? Ain't lost, none of that. Yeah, he was supposed to beat Manny Pacquiao. He couldn't beat a 40-year-old Pacquiao. He ain't beating a damn young Fundora. Hell no. With all that speed and that length and that punching power coming from Fundora and that work rate, that's all it was for Pacquiao, was work rate. Pacquiao put those combinations together, had him on his bike. Yeah, And you got what that boy Keith Thurman, bagging out with his hands down. Yeah, trying to get away. You can't do that with Fundora. Hell no, man. And this ain't the Keith Thurman of the old. This is a different Keith Thurman.
What's your prediction for Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman? Do you think Fundora has what it takes to stop Thurman, or can Thurman prove he still has what it takes to pull off a big win? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below.